Hello everyone, and welcome to your partner in education, Agile Rank Mate. Today we'll be looking at the TALLENTEX examination, which is conducted by Alan. Now, TALLENTEX is a scholarship examination. It's a competitive examination for students from grade 5 to 12, and it mainly deals with the sciences and mathematics. So today we're going to be looking at some sample questions of this examination, and what we're going to do specifically is to look at these questions for grade 10 students. So the idea is to look at some of the questions from across subjects and analyze how to solve them effectively. So let's start off. We have a question from physics at the start. All the bulbs below are identical. Which bulb, apostrophe bracket S, light bracket S most brightly? So it's either which bulb lights most brightly or which bulbs light most brightly. So that's according to the options. You've got 1 only, 2 only, 3 and 4, 1 and 5. So what's the underlying principle for this particular question? As you can see, you've got a potential difference, a battery. Current flows from its positive terminal to its negative terminal, and it first passes through bulb 1, then it passes through bulbs 2, 3, and 4, and finally passes through bulb 5 before reaching the negative terminal. So this is how the flow of current is represented. Now, when it comes to multiple bulbs and the factor that which bulbs lights most brightly, the idea is to look at the value of the current passing through each bulb. Now, the bulb that lights the most brightly would be the one that has the highest amount of current. So here we've got a complex circuit. It's got bulbs connected in series to the potential difference or the battery, and bulbs connected in parallel. So the main idea is to find out which of the bulbs have more current passing through it. Now let's consider each bulb as a resistor whose resistance is, let's say, R. Now we know that all the bulbs are identical, so every one of their resistances is R. So that means all 5 bulbs would each have a resistance R. Now, for similar resistors across a circuit, resistors connected in series would have the same current passing through them. However, if these same resistors were connected in parallel, then what happens is they receive a part of the original current. So when you look at the current flow, over here the current, let's say, is I, original. However, once it splits into the parallel circuit, it's divided into 2 parts. Let's consider them as IA and IB. IB goes through bulb number 2 and IA goes through bulbs 3 and 4. So therefore, as you can see, both of them receive different currents because of the fact that the resistors are connected in parallel. So therefore, they do not get the original current that originates from the positive terminal. So that means when we look at the question, the bulbs that should light the most brightly are the ones that are connected in series to the potential difference. Now, if you look at option 2, which says 2 only, that's incorrect because 2 is connected in parallel. Option 3 that says 3 and 4 is also incorrect. Now, what's the reason for that? The reason is that both bulbs 3 and 4 are connected in series to each other, but that combination is connected in parallel with bulb 2. So that means, because of it, the original current would then split into 2, and one part of that current would flow through both bulbs 3 and 4. So therefore, that means it does not receive the original current. So that means option 3 is also incorrect. Now, if you look at both bulbs 1 and 5, you can see that both of them are connected in series to the original potential difference. So 1 then passes through the parallel circuit, then passes through 5, and then back to the battery. So therefore, option 4, 1 and 5 is the right option. The reason being, resistors in series get the same current. So the same current I that flows through 1 would also flow through 5 before coming back to the potential difference. Now 1 only would have been incorrect because 5 also has the same conditions. So therefore, option 4, 1 and 5 turns out to be the right answer. So all the bulbs below are identical. Which bulbs light most brightly? The answer is option 4, bulbs 1 and 5. Now let's look at another question. This one is from chemistry. Now, a person, Pratyush, took sulfur powder on a spatula and heated it. He collected the gas evolved by inverting a test tube over the burning sulfur. You need to find out what will be the action of this gas on dry litmus paper. So the idea is he heated sulfur on a spatula. So that means it's in contact with air, especially with oxygen. So sulfur plus oxygen under heat produces sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is the gas that is evolved and that is collected in a test tube. Now, sulfur belongs to the acidic side of elements, but what we are using is a dry litmus paper. Now, in a dry litmus paper, there is no moisture, and the concept of acidity and basicity is actually dependent on the H plus ions generated in water. So therefore, because of that, we find that there is no question of acidity or basicity on a dry litmus paper because of the fact that there is no water. Now, red litmus paper turning blue is revealing that something is basic. Blue litmus paper turning red is something that's related to acidic. Both 1 and 2 would never occur for something. It has to be either acidic or basic. However, the right answer here is that there is no action on litmus paper. The reason being that there is no moisture. So options A and B are incorrect. SO2 might be acidic, might be basic, we may never know. But the reason why the change does not occur is the fact that there is no moisture. Both options 1 and 2 have to occur when there is a moist litmus paper. When the litmus paper is dry, there's no water, there's no point in the formation, there's no formation of H plus ions or OH minus ions, which determine acidity and basicity respectively. So that means there is no change. So option 3, no action on litmus paper, is the right answer. So the key word for this particular question is actually the word dry. So since it's dry, no water, no question of acidity or basicity, no change on the litmus paper. Now let's look at a biology question. Which one of the following statement is incorrect? Now here we're talking about hormones and their glands. So we're basically dealing with the endocrine system. We have 4 statements. Let's look at them. Glucagon is secreted by pancreas, androgen is produced by ovary, thyroxine is secreted by thyroid, oxytocin is released by the pituitary. Now, which of these is incorrect? Now, oxytocin, the hormone, is produced by the hypothalamus. But the statement is it's released by the pituitary gland, which is actually true because the hypothalamic hormones, they actually are released by the posterior pituitary gland. So oxytocin released by the pituitary gland is actually a true statement. Now, oxytocin, the hormone, is actually responsible for giving birth, because this hormone forces the muscles in the uterus to contract, which results in more production of oxytocin, which leads to more contractions, which eventually leads to the birth of the baby. So oxytocin released by the pituitary is a true statement. And because it's a true statement, the option is incorrect. We're looking for something that's incorrect. So remember, the key word is incorrect. Next, let's look at option 3. Thyroxine is secreted by thyroid. The thyroid gland actually produces two hormones. One is T4, which is the inactive form, and the other one's T3. Now, thyroxine is actually one of these hormones. I believe it's T4. So thyroxine is the active form of the hormone that is secreted by the thyroid gland. So therefore, option 3, again, as you can see, it's a true statement, which makes the option incorrect because we're looking for an incorrect answer, incorrect statement. Now, what about option 1? Glucagon is secreted by pancreas. Now, the role of glucagon is to increase blood sugar levels when there is a dearth. So, for example, if you have very less blood sugar because of the fact that you haven't eaten anything, then glucagon is responsible for turning out some of the fat into sugars and then releasing them to the blood. Now, when it comes to blood sugars, the other major hormone is insulin, which is again produced by the pancreas. So glucagon, the hormone being produced by the pancreas, is actually a true statement. Glucagon and insulin are the two hormones of the pancreas, which help in maintaining blood sugar levels. So option 1 is incorrect because the statement is true. This leaves the only option that can be correct is option 2, androgen produced by ovary. Now, why is this statement incorrect? Androgen, its main producer, turns out to be the adrenal glands. So therefore, it might be produced in the gonads in trace amounts, but the main producer is the adrenal glands. So therefore, statement number 2 is false, which makes it the right option. Since our objective was to find the incorrect statement, option number 2 is the correct option because it has the incorrect statement. All the other statements are correct, which makes their options incorrect. Now let's look at a question on mathematics. A, B, C are 3 real numbers such that A plus B plus C is 7, A squared plus B squared plus C squared is 35, and A cubed plus B cubed plus C cubed is 151. We need to find the value of A, B, C. A, B, C is basically the product of A, B, and C, the real numbers. So, how do we solve this question? Well, in order to solve this question, we would have to use the 3 values given. Now, we know that A plus B plus C equals 7. Let's consider that to be option 1. The second one is statement 2, and the third one is equation 3. So equations 1, 2, 3 are given in the question. So let's consider this to be equation 1. The next idea that we're going to do is to square both sides. So when we square both sides, what we get on the left is A plus B plus C the whole squared. And on the right-hand side, what we get is 7 squared, which is 49. Now, A plus B plus C the whole squared, according to the algebraic identity, would be A squared plus B squared plus C squared plus 2AB plus 2BC plus 2CA, which is equal to 49. Now, according to equation 2, a squared plus b squared plus c squared is equal to 35. So essentially, we will replace those three terms with 35. So 35 plus 2 times AB plus BC plus CA equals 49. So that means 2 times of AB plus BC plus CA equals to 49 minus 35, which is equal to 14. You can do the subtraction by your own and you'll get the same answer. 9 minus 5 is 4, 4 minus 3 is 1. Now when we divide it by 2 on both sides, you get AB plus BC plus CA. This particular term, its value would be 14 over 2, which is equal to 7. Now let's consider this value to be equation 4. Now why would we need it? Let's move forward and find out. So now that we know the value of AB plus BC plus CA, let's look at the cube of equation 1. So once again, let's write equation 1, A plus B plus C equals 7. So cubing both sides of equation 1, what we're going to get is A plus B plus C now we can do that, but that turns out to be more complicated. There is actually an easier method to get our answer. Okay, so instead of going on for the cube thing, we can actually use another algebraic identity. The algebraic identity that we're going to use here is a cube plus b cube plus c cube. Now, its expansion is actually a plus b plus c times a squared plus b squared plus c squared minus ab minus bc minus ca plus 3abc. So this is the actual algebraic identity. However, according to equation 3, the value of a cube plus b cube plus c cube is equal to 151. So we now know what's our left-hand side. Also, according to equation 1, a plus b plus c equals 7. According to equation 2, a squared plus b squared plus c squared equals 35, actually not 49. And we also know, according to equation 4, ab plus bc plus ca as equal to 7. We're going to put in all of these values on this equation. So the left-hand side now becomes 151. The right-hand side will be 7 times 35 minus, and inside the bracket we'd have 7. If you take the minus out of all these terms here, it'll be minus of AB plus BC plus CA. So we have 35 minus 7 in the bracket. And then plus 3ABC. So 35 minus 7 gives you 28. 7 times 28. So 28 is 14 times 2. We can take that 2 over to the other multiplier. So that's 7 times 2 becomes 14. 14 squared gives you 196. So our final equation is now 151 equals 196 plus 3abc. So basically, 3abc is now equal to 151 minus 196. So if you do the subtraction of 196 and 151, you get 45. So the value of 3abc is equal to negative of 45, which means the value of ABC is negative 45 over 3, which is equal to negative 15. So the correct value of ABC from the three given equations is minus 15. So minus 15 is option 3. So therefore, option 3 turns out to be the right option. The other values are incorrect. 1 and 2 are positive, while 4 has the incorrect numerical value. So that's how you solve this math question. We use algebraic identities. We use the values given, and then we found out our solution, which is the value of the product of these three real numbers. Now let's look at another question. This one is on mental ability. It's an often discussed topic in competitive exams, so therefore it is quite important. In the following question, a number series is given with one term missing. Choose the correct alternative that will continue the same pattern and replace the question mark in the given series. So we have a series here: 9, 27, 31, 155, 161, 1127, and a question mark. We need to find out what is the question mark representing. Is it 316, 1135, 1288, 2254? Now, if you look at 9 and 27, 27 is 9 times 3. However, if you look at 27 and 31, there isn't a multiplicative difference. However, there is a difference of 4 between the two numbers. So 27 plus 4 would give you 31. If you look at 31 and 155, 30 times 5 is 150. So therefore, 31 times 5, if you were ever to multiply that, you would get 155. So therefore, 155 is actually 31 times 5. If you look at the difference between 155 and 161, this is again plus 6. So as you can see, we do have a pattern here that says multiplied by odd numbers and added by even numbers, starting from 3. So when we continue on this pattern, the next term that we get is 1127. So 161 times 7, 1 7 is 7, 6 7s are 42, 1 7 is 7, 7 plus 4 is 11, so 1127. So as you can see, that formula still holds for all the 6 terms. Now next we have that question mark. So according to our pattern, like from the number 3 onwards, the first term would be multiplied by 3. The second term to form the second term. The third term would be the second term added by 4. The third term, 31, multiplied by 5 would give us the fourth term. The fifth term, 161, is basically 6 plus the fourth term, which is 155. So basically, multiply by odd number added by even number gives us the series. So as you can see, the number before 1127 was the fifth term multiplied by 7. 161 multiplied by 7 gave us 1127. The next term in the series is basically 1127 plus 8. So 7 plus 8 gives you 15. And immediately you get your answer, option 2. It's the only one that has 5 at the unit digits. So the other options turn out to be incorrect. Now in order to confirm it, 2 plus 1 gives you 3, and then the 11 carries over. So therefore 1135 turns out to be the right option that will replace the question mark in the given series. The series is from 3 onwards, multiply the previous term by an odd number, and the next term would be added by the consecutive even number. So that is how the series progresses, and that's how we got our answer, which would replace the question mark, which is option 2, 1135. Now that concludes this episode of TALLENTEX. We hope you found this episode interesting. For more of our useful and interesting content, don't forget to subscribe to Agile Rank Mate, your partner in education. If you want to get the latest updates from our channel, then please don't forget to hit the bell icon present below the video and set it to all. So until the next webisode, take care, stay alert, bye-bye for now.